Hello friends, welcome to your Vedic Astrology channel, Bhaskara Uvacha, and I am your host Bhaskara. Friends, in this episode, I am going to discuss this horoscope which you can see on your screen. This is horoscope of a man who is around 50-year-old now, and you can see that the Lagna is Cancer in this horoscope, and Moon, which is Lagna Lord, is in the 10th house with Ketu, and Saturn is placed in the first house, and this Saturn is retrograde. Sun, which is second house lord, and Mars, which is Yogkaraka, fifth lord and 10th house lord, because fifth house the sign is Scorpio, and 10th house the sign is Aries. So this is making very good yoga. Sun, Mars, Sun being the second house lord, Mars being the fifth house lord and the 10th house lord. They are both sitting in the fifth house. Very good yoga, and seen by Jupiter also from the opposite house, 11th house. Jupiter is ninth house lord. So, and Jupiter is forming exchange yoga with Venus. Jupiter is in Taurus and Venus is in Sagittarius. So, this looks like a very powerful horoscope for wealth and everything. But we should always, when we start examining a horoscope, we should always look at Lagna and Lagna Lord first. So what we can see that Saturn, retrograde Saturn, is placed in the Lagna, looking at the Lagna Lord through 10th Drishti, and also looking at Moon Lagna, because this is not only Moon, Moon is Moon sign also. So Saturn is affecting three core areas of the horoscope. One is Lagna. He is sitting in Lagna. Second, he is looking at the Lagna Lord Moon, and he is also looking at the Moon Lagna, Aries. So Saturn has lots of ability to influence the central theme of the life and the career of this person. Yeah, and Saturn is also looking at the 10th house. So life and career and the whole life path of this man. And who is Saturn? So Saturn is seventh house lord and eighth house lord. Because in the seventh house we can see 10 is written Capricorn. In the eighth house we can see Aquarius is written, which is 11 is written, which is Aquarius. So what is Saturn? When Saturn influences so many factors, so of course this man will have lots of responsibilities, and he will have lots of pressure, lots of constraints, lots of restrictions in life. So he will always feel that he is working under some kind of pressure, some kind of constraints. He cannot do what he wants, those kinds of constraints. From where those constraints can come? Saturn is seventh lord, so it can come either from the wife or from the professional partners, and that is there. And so there, for him, partners, wife and professional partners can play a very central role in shaping the central theme of his life, because Saturn is placed in the Lagna itself, and they would have that kind of influence on him that he can also feel restricted often. He can feel that he has lack of freedom. There is lot of pressure on him, that kind of thing. And Saturn is eighth house lord also. So eighth house is the house of change, transformation, ups and downs, sudden changes. So that can also be one of the central theme of his life, because that eighth lord is placed in the first house itself. So that is clear. So, and although Lagna Lord is placed in the 10th house, so that means this man would seek to find meaning of his life through his work, but that Lagna Lord is conjunct with Ketu. So that is a very contradictory connection, because Ketu in the 10th house can make him not attach his ego too much with his professional success. And then Moon is the not only Lagna Lord, but it is Moon also, the significator of emotion. So his basic drive of life is going towards profession, and he emotionally wants to seek attachment from the professional success also. But there is Ketu that is making him feel less emotionally, that is wanting him to feel less emotionally attached to professional success in his life. So it's very contradictory, push and pull kind of energy. He wants to feel professional success. He also wants to, he feel, and when he gets it, he can feel lack of happiness, lack of some like strange feeling that even though I am finding doing everything, I'm not finding happiness in this professional life. Even though I'm working, I'm growing, I am earning, but the happiness is missing. So there will be some spiritual angle also to his life, because Moon Ketu is there, and Saturn is influencing that Moon. Of course, Saturn is influencing the Lagna as well as the Lagna Lord. So there would be pressure, some kind of anxiety. Sometimes his spiritual aura can also be weak. So there will be chance of developing some kind of fear for the unknown also sometimes. Or he can also be susceptible to be affected by evil eye kind of thing. So it's a very complicated scenario. Uh, so what has been seen that yes, this person works in some kind of partnership setup in real estate. Why real estate? One thing is Cancer Lagna, that means fourth house of the natural zodiac. Then Lagna Lord sitting in the 10th house and looking at the fourth house. Again, fourth house coming into play. Then Moon is the natural significator of the fourth house and looking at the fourth house, strengthening the fourth house also. Then Rahu is sitting in the fourth house, giving him the option of growth in the fourth house area. Mars involved in such a big Raj Yoga with Sun and Jupiter and Dhan Yoga. Mars is again Karaka for the fourth house. Venus forming exchange yoga with Jupiter, in which Jupiter is sitting in the 11th house of earning and Venus is fourth house lord. So fourth house is coming again and again in many of the yogas. So naturally he is working in the real estate sector, which belongs to the fourth house. But before this, before coming to the real estate sector, he has worked in multiple other sectors. Why that has happened? Because one thing is eighth lord Saturn is looking at the 10th house, eighth lord Saturn is sitting in Lagna, looking at Lagna lord and 10th house. So anyway, when eighth lord is sitting in the Lagna, there would be lots of impulses for him to experience changes. And these changes have mostly manifested in his career and career path, because Lagna Lord has gone into 10th house, carrying the influence of Saturn into 10th house also. And then Saturn is also looking at 10th house and Lagna Lord. And then Ketu is also there. Ketu does not make him emotionally attached to one particular field too much, although Moon wants to do that. He wants to get associated with that whatever work he is doing and feel emotionally bound to it, but then Ketu creates that confusion and dissatisfaction and detachment. So this push and pull makes him keep changing his professions. Many a times in his life he has done it, and lastly he joined this real estate, and in most of the professions that he has done, he always had some partner working with him, and that partner would always keep some pressure on him. So he always has worked under the pressure of some partner who is more dominating partner in the partnership. Maybe suppose that, for example, he had 20% share in that, and the other partner would be having 80% share. So the other partner would be more dominating, and he would act as if, he would have, this man would feel this, this kind of pressure to be working under some kind of constraints and restrictions. He would have lack of freedom. He can't take all decisions on his own, because again, I told you, Saturn is placed in Lagna and influencing core areas of his horoscope. So we can understand now. So this way I explained that there can be chances of instability, pressure, restriction, push and pull energy in career, wanting to rise in career but also feeling detached. So very confusing, contradictory energy it is. And then in that push and pull, changing the line of career many times, although earning well. In most of the cases, he has earned well because of this Sun, second lord, Mars, Yog Karaka, 10th lord, and fifth lord, making yoga with each other. And then Jupiter also looking at this, and Jupiter is the ninth lord. So it's a good Raj Yoga and Dhana Yoga. So he has gained good success in whatever he has done, but he is never free. He always feels to be working under some kind of pressure, like as if some big stone is put in him and on him, and he is working under the pressure, under the constraint, under restriction because of this Saturn. Now, if we look at normally, we see Vimshotri Dasha. As for Vimshotri Dasha, he ran through Mangal Mahadasha between 2018 and 2025. As you can see, Mangal is the Yoga Karaka for Cancer Lagna horoscope, and Mangal is anyway moon sign lord also. So, and Mangal is placed in the fifth house, making good Raja Yoga and Dhana Yoga with Sun and Jupiter. So materially, this Mangal period should have been very good for him, but it was not the case. Mangal period was actually troublesome for him. He had lots of problem with his partner, seventh lord in the first, and he broke the partnership also. Then he started to work under the same partner with on the salary basis. So there were lots of instability, and he felt uprooted. So that is why I always advise people that Vimshotri Dasha, although it is the most popular Dasha and everybody uses this Dasha, and people, when they say Dasha, they mean Vimshotri Dasha only. But there are multiple Dashas that Parashar Rishi has taught in Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra, and there are specific dashas, conditional dashas also, that apply on different horoscopes. Like in this horoscope, seventh house lord is in the first house. So there is a dasha called Dvi Saptati Samdasha. This applies on this. And when in any horoscope some conditional dasha is applied, we should always check for what conditional dasha is running in that horoscope. Because the condition for this dasha is Lagna lord in the seventh or seventh lord in Lagna. So he has been running through Saturn Mahadasha as per that. And this tells the whole story that as since he is running through Saturn Mahadasha, and as I explained what kind of energy Saturn is carrying in his horoscope, so he felt all the ups and downs and changes, break in partnership, because Saturn is also looking at the seventh house, being the eighth lord. So, and then working for the same partner on salary basis in the same company. So lots of ups and downs, and he is very greatly disturbed. So uh, and at the same time, he has become very spiritual in the last few years because of this Saturn activating the earth house energy and looking at moon Ketu. It has made him very spiritual also, and he feels lots of disturbed energy and lots of uncertainty in his life right now, which is not so well reflected from the fact that he had been running through Mars Dasha till very recently. So it is not so easily reflected from that. Whereas from Sati Samdasha of Shani, it is very easily reflected. And he indeed confirms that he has actual problem started in his life after mid 2020. So what remedies I have advised him? I have first advised him to satisfy Saturn, do seva, because it is retrograde Saturn. He has to do seva, and when I say seva, he has to offer his labor, go and serve physically. It's not about only donating, because if he does seva, this retrograde Saturn, the debts of past life karma that he is carrying because of this retrograde Saturn in Lagna, he will pay off that. And the moment he starts doing seva, sixth house energy will be activated in a good way, and there is an exchange between Venus and Jupiter involving sixth house and 11th house. 11th house is the house of income. So as he does seva, he will begin to see better income prospects in his life. And the more he serves, the more he earns, the more he serves, the more income he will have. So it's a simple loop. And then Saturn will also be satisfied, because retrograde Saturn is placed in the first house and influencing many core areas of his life. And that way, um, he will begin to feel better. And I have additionally also advised him few mantra chanting. And let us see how things work out. But I am sure things will work out positively for him once he begins to satisfy Saturn. So most of the remedies that we identify in a horoscope can be very practical. I mostly advise remedies that are practical and that can be identified from the horoscope itself. I don't advise remedies that are very costly to perform. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. In case if you want to get astrological reading from me, you can write to me on this email, cosmic bond 7 cosmic cosmic bond bond 7 is the numeral at gmail.com. And that's it. Now we reach the end of this episode. So I will keep making such videos. So if you are enjoying watching my videos, you can follow me, follow my channel, and support me. So God bless you all. See you next time again. Goodbye.